Hi everyone, welcome to part two of this little mini-series on capturing races. In part one I talked about races, capturing races between groups that didn't have any eyes, and I talked about the different kinds of liberties, the outside liberties, inside liberties, and approach liberties. I'll give examples of those in these videos as well, but if you're a little bit fuzzy on what those terms mean, you might want to review part one before checking out this one. So when groups have eyes, oh, I got to the wrong position there. Here, let's go forward from here. When groups have eyes, it gives them some extra power. So, well, there's a Japanese saying that a fight between a group with no eyes and a group with eyes is no contest. But that's not always true. So if it's a simple case where everybody just has external liberties, then the capturing race just proceeds as normal. So here's an example where we have a capturing race between a white group and a black group, and they both have three liberties. White has these three liberties and black has these three. And they're all external liberties. They're not shared between the group. So it's white's turn to move. The only thing is you can't play in the center until the very end. You can't play in the eye, rather, until the very end. So you are forced to play on the outside first. But it's just three moves, and since white had the move, white wins that capturing race. So it's very simple. The first case where we see some extra powers belonging to the group with, with the eye is in the case of approach liberties. So if we just count liberties here, 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3, and it's white's turn to move, if you take that simple approach, you might think that white will win this race. But this liberty here at K13 is an approach liberty. You can't just play there directly. You actually have to fill in here at L13 before you play there, because when you play there, you get captured. Now, if it weren't for this eye, it wouldn't be a problem. But because you can't play in the eye until every liberty is filled, normally you could have waited and played the approach liberty last and killed with that move. But in this case, white's going to lose this race because it's going to take him an extra liberty to fill in that approach. So let's just go forward. Say white plays here, black plays here. White extends. If he plays there at K13 immediately, it'll get captured. So we'll check that out in a second. Now finally white fills in that last outside liberty. Well, not the last liberty other than the eye. But it's one step too late, and black wins. And yeah, if we back up, if white tried to play directly here, black can capture. White can come back and try and capture that stone and get back there. Black now just proceeds to fill in the outside liberties. White captures here and is threatening this group, but is one step too late, so black will win. So when you have a group with an eye, every approach liberty, yeah, it's white's turn to move. Every approach liberty takes two moves to fill. So that's one of the powers of the group with the eye. And then a second power has to do with the shared liberties. So the inside liberties, this is an inside liberty. It's shared between the two groups. Normally you just sort of you fill them in last, and depending on the number of them, they don't really benefit one side or the other, but they can result in a seki, as I talked about in the previous video. Seki is where if you have two of them, neither side can fill them in and both groups live, so you get into a mutual life situation. Here we have a group with one eye, and it has a total of 3 external liberties and 1 inside liberty, and white has 3 outside liberties and 1 inside liberty, and it's white's turn to move. So by the normal rules, you might think that white will win, but in fact black will win this capturing race, even though it's white's turn. And it's because this inside liberty accrues to the benefit of the group with the eye. So let's see, it's white's turn, 1. Black fills in the outside liberties first. White fills in the outside liberties. And now white really wants to fill in this liberty next, but he can't. That's an illegal move to play into an eye like that. So he has to fill in this liberty if he wants to continue the race. but that just loses. So the outside liberties accrue to the benefit of the of the of the group with the eye. Let's see. Suppose black didn't respond immediately, and we get into this situation. Now white can win this. So the rule is that if white's outside liberties are equal to the total of black's liberties, outside plus inside, and it's white's turn to move, then white can win. So this is what you need to kill that group. So it's white's turn. Let's see, black attacks on the outside. Now it's safe to fill in that inside liberty because you have one more outside liberty here that needs to get filled in, and white wins by one move. So I had one other example here where maybe it's a little more convincing. Here, let's go to the end of this branch. This is a case where there's two inside liberties, and now let's see. White loses this race quite badly. So we look at it, we might think it's even. Black has 3 outside liberties and 2 inside liberties. White has 3 outside liberties and 2 inside liberties. But black is the group with the eye. So even if we give white an extra move here, it's white's turn to move to start with, and we give him an extra move. So it's like 2 stones. Black is still going to win this capturing race, because white is forced to fill in those inside liberties before he can play that last liberty where the eye is, and black gets there first. So the situation here, yeah, when white started the attack, there was 3 outside liberties, but black had a total of 3 liberties, a total of 4 liberties before white placed that stone. So so the external liberties were not greater than or equal to the total liberties of black. So if white gets one more move, say black plays here, now white can win, because white has 3 outside liberties and black has 3 total liberties. So if your outside liberties are equal to your opponent's total liberties, even if he has an eye and inside liberties, then you can still win if it's your move. So it's safe to fill in those inside liberties now. Black goes after the outside liberties here, but you get there first. So okay, so that's it for the inside and the outside liberties. But it shows the power of having an eye. It really makes the group much stronger. So there's another. Well, let's take a look at a race between groups where both sides have eyes. So the situation you want to look out for here is the case of the inside liberties. When you had inside liberties without eyes, you needed 2 inside liberties to get to a mutual life situation. Now with when there are eyes, both groups have eyes. They've got they're halfway to being alive, and you can get to a mutual life situation when there's only 1 inside liberty here. So this race is going to end in mutual life. Let's count the liberties here. Black has 1, 2, 3 outside liberties and 1 inside liberty, and white has 1, 2, 3 outside liberties and 1 inside liberty. So it's even, and both sides will fill in the outside liberties first, and then white will go for the inside liberty, and if white goes for the inside liberty, white gets killed. So white can't play there. So white has to play somewhere else. And even if it's black's turn, black can't go for that either, because black will get killed. So so black has to play somewhere else. And of course, playing in the eyes here is illegal. So so this is a situation where mutual life occurs. And let's see. So if you have enough outside liberties, I can fix the race here. Yeah. So let's say black wasted a move. Played here. Now let's count. It's white's turn to move, and black has 2 outside liberties, 1 inside liberty, and white has 3 outside liberties and 1 inside liberty. So I think white is going to be able to win this one. White fills in here, black attacks, yeah, and white gets a chance to fill in the inside liberty, and black still is filling in the outside liberties, and then white can win. So with an extra move, then white can win that capturing race. And similarly for black. Black had an extra move. Black could win that. But if in an even race, it will end up in a mutual life situation. Okay, so let's go back. And sometimes eyes, so that was 2 eyes. Sometimes you have a fight against a group with an eye, and the eye is large. It's got, yeah, I think this is the right case. Yeah, so this group, black has the eye, white doesn't. They have the same number of external liberties, 1, 2, 3, 4 for white, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for black. So you might think white's turn to move, and white can win this capturing race. If black just plays in a straightforward fashion, filling in all of the outside liberties, then black does lose. But of course, there was one point there where black could have killed those stones. So let's look at this in more detail. White plays inside, black takes the outside liberties. White is filling in. And now black, instead of carelessly playing out here, needs to capture those groups, those stones on the inside. White has to throw back in immediately to keep black from forming 2 eyes. Of course, if black forms 2 eyes, he will always win that capturing race since his group can't be killed. Now black can fill in some outside liberties. White gets to play here and is threatening to capture that group, but black strikes first. So black has gained an extra liberty by capturing the stones that are filled in. So there's a general rule for this kind of situation. You can count the equivalent number of external liberties. So a group like this of 4 stones has an equivalent of 5 outside liberties. If an eye has anywhere between 1 and 3, 1, 2, or 3 spaces, it's got 3 spaces in the eye, then it's the same. So a 1 space eye is just worth 1 outside liberty, a 2 space 2, and 3 space is worth 3 outside liberties. The only thing with a 3 space eye is you have to remember your first move has to be always to play in the middle to prevent your opponent from making 2 eyes. But other than that, it's the 3 spaces are worth 3 outside liberties. But when you get to 4, those 4 spaces are worth 5 outside liberties. And if you get to 5, there is a 5 space shape which is dead if in white's turn to move. It's the Jeep shape. You can imagine these 4 spaces plus a space here makes something that looks a little bit like a Jeep. You play at the center of that group to kill it. So anyway, that's a 5 space eye that's dead after you play in the center. But it takes 8 moves to fill it in. So 5 spaces are worth 8 outside liberties. Just because as you start to fill it up, there are various points at which black captures you. And each time he does, well, the first time he captures you, then he goes down to a 4 space eye, and etc. So, and then if it's a 6 space eye that you can kill, then it's 12. That's equivalent to 12 outside liberties. So let me repeat that. Up to 3, it's the same. 4 spaces are worth 5 outside liberties. 5 spaces are worth 8, and 6 spaces are worth 12. So that's it for these. I guess there's one kind of special case I wanted to show you. Let's see, I'll play somewhere else just to, and that's this case when the outside liberties are on the, let's see, I should have done that differently. If I'm going to create a capturing race here, I should play here, let black cut. So let's see, it's white's turn to move, and actually white can kill this group with 3 moves. This is not worth 5 anymore, it's only worth 3 because it's on the corner, and white will be able to block all of this group's liberties with only 3 moves. So this is not worth, these 4 spaces here are not worth 5 outside liberties, they're really only worth 3. So it's white's turn to move and white will win, because it just goes like this, and black never has the chance to capture those stones, and white captures first. Let's see, if white doesn't play there, plays outside, now black wins this capturing race. So that's exactly how much this is. Oops, let's play correctly. This is worth exactly 3 stones. There are 3 outside liberties. Yep, and black captures first. Okay, so that's the case of the big eyes. Oh yeah, one last case when the eyes are fighting against each other. We have 2 groups with eyes, and there's a co-situation. And the rule here to remember is to take the co last. This doesn't matter unless the groups have eyes, but if there's eyes involved, then this is very important. And so to show the correct way, let's start by counting liberties again. This group has 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties, and they're all outside liberties. This group has 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties, and they're all outside liberties, and each group has an eye. So it's an even battle. It's white's turn to move, and white will win this if white plays correctly. So start by taking these outside liberties here. Play here, black plays over here, you play here, black plays over here. Now you can't play in the eye. There's no more other liberties you can take except for the co. So this is last. You play the co last, and now it's black's turn to move. And black really needs to take the co back, so he needs to make a big co threat somewhere on the board that's worth more than losing this group here. And if he can't find a co threat and he just continues the capturing race, then white will win. So what goes wrong if you take the ko first? It actually reverses the roles. So if you go here first, you're reducing his liberties. He's gone down from 4 liberties to 3, and black continues to take the outside liberties there. You take the outside liberty, black takes the outside liberty, and you take the last outside liberty, and now you're ready to play in the eye and kill that group. And it's important that you can't play there until now. And now, at the very last moment, black turns the tables and takes the ko back because there have been some intermediate moves, so he gets to take the ko. And now the shoe is on the other foot. Now white has to find a big ko threat somewhere else on the board that black has to respond to. And if he can't find one, if he just plays randomly, then black can put this whole group in Atari, and white can't defend it. There's 2 spaces to fill in here to capture this group, and white is just 1 step behind. So by taking the ko last, you force your opponent to find the ko threat, whereas if you take it too soon, then he can turn the tables on you and force you to find a ko threat. Okay, so that was everything about groups with eyes. There was one more point I wanted to make in general about capturing races. So this involves 2 groups that are fighting. Actually, neither of them has eyes in this case, but it can apply with or without eyes. And this is to look out for something called a Sente Exchange. Sente is a move, meaning the initiative. A Sente Exchange is you play a move and your opponent is forced to respond. So it's something that you could kind of throw in at any point in the game. It's a threat that he has to respond to. And so in the middle of the capturing race, if there's a possibility of a Sente Exchange, you can actually gain a step in the capturing race. So here's an example. This white group here is being attacked. It's surrounded. It's got 1, 2, 3 liberties. 3 liberties. So this black group here is also under attack. And if you count the total liberties, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's got 4 total liberties. So you might think black will win this capturing race. And if white plays carelessly, then in fact that is true. Black will win. Let's just play these moves out. Black fills in all of those outside liberties and then takes the inside liberty, and that whole group is dead. But there was another option here for white. White had a more forcing move, and this is the Sente Exchange. It's because black is not connected, and white can Atari this group here, and black has to respond and fill in. And now, now the situation has changed. Now there's just these 2 outside liberties and these 2 outside liberties, and it's white's turn to move, and white wins this capturing race. So, so when you're trying to evaluate a capturing race, my point is look for all these little forcing moves for either side before you start counting liberties. So just a raw count at this point will give you a misleading answer, because white will, of course, throw in this exchange. And now the count is 2 versus 2. It's white's turn to move, and white will win. Let's see, what did I do wrong here? Yeah, okay, like that. And so that's it for this video. Hope you guys learned, and that's all I have to say about capturing races. And anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon.